on, share.
Now we're cooking with grease now, Coach.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So here we go. Can y'all see this?
Yep.
Halftime?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so here's for me in halftime. So I'm a big believer in the regards of when you're making adjustments, you should be making adjustments throughout the game. We should not be waiting until halftime to make adjustments. So in Texas, especially in Melissa, our band is a big deal. So it's 28 minutes of halftime here in the state of Texas, but especially in Melissa, Texas, it's 28 minutes. So from we have 5 floors on our press box. The fourth floor is where coaches are. I have walked it from the coaches' booth, the elevator, to the start of the championship center, and it's 3 minutes. So you get 3 minutes of that 28 minutes. Adjustment should already be on your mind, but you get 3 minutes to start getting to the locker room and getting your thoughts together. And an away game, what I do is I adjust it based off of the walk I get from the opposing coach that I'm playing that week. And that'll go into those other things, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So 3 minutes, get to the locker room, get your thoughts together. Every coach, when I give out, clothes and whatnot on the year, I give coaches a little bitty note booklet. And that note booklet is for notes during the game and things that you should write down during or going into halftime so you don't forget about it. So everybody should have their notebook out when we're at this 4-minute part discussing as a coaching unit. Now, once again, I tell my coordinators at this time to listen. It's not an opportunity to speak; it's a time to listen. So you get all this input. And once again, at the end of the day, we're not going to do what everyone says, but there could be somebody. There could be a freshman coach. It could be the run game coordinator. Somebody's got a really good idea. But hopefully there are conversations that are happening throughout the game that or the first half that, we've already adjusted. But yeah. During that time, you're discussing as a unit. The last minute and a half, the coordinator speaks. So it's 2.5 minutes of coaches bouncing ideas. The last minute and a half, the coordinator kind of getting it together. So this 4 minutes, and I'm sorry, this is from just a general one, but I'll put on here minute and a half left, coordinator speaks. And just that time when the coordinator's talking, he's trying to just make sure they're all on the same page. Okay. So okay, you said if we get FIB trips into the boundary, you like inside zone or whatever. Is that what we're saying? We're good there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's on the same page. After that, a minute, the coordinators come and find me. Now, what we do is, I don't know, I'm big into the mafia. So for me, everything I do has something to do with the mafia. So we call this the syndicate time because it's the coordinator, both coordinators and myself. And then I have the position coaches kind of crescent around them. So if a coordinator gets it wrong, there's a coach behind him that can help him out. Just so I'm now understanding the overall, what they're kind of talking about. And if I don't like it, I'll say I don't like it, or whatever the case may be. If I got to add something to it, I'll say I'm going to add this, whatnot, this, that, and another. But each coordinator has 30 seconds to speak. Now, honestly, for the most part, you guys know how it is. An offensive guy usually comes in and has about 19 ideas for a pass. You know what I mean? And then they'll have like 2 ideas for a run. On the defensive side, they might have, hey, we're going to slant this way, we're going to slant to the back, or whatever the case may be. So I say it's 30 seconds apiece. For the most part, my defensive coordinator maybe speaks for about 15, 20 seconds. And my offensive coordinator takes the rest. And it's mostly me saying, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Once I say, hey, we're good, we're doing everything, then they go and discuss it with their position players. And that's a 4-minute. Now, there's times where, say it's a longer walk, say it's a 5-minute walk, I'll start mixing that 3-minute and that 4-minute, these two together, because you guys, as you're walking, you should be finding each other. And I tell them, hey, you don't have any excuse. If you're the run game coordinator and you're walking down, you shouldn't have any excuse to going and trying to find the OC and having a conversation with the OC on the walk, because I'll be honest with you, for me personally, I am a stickler when it comes to time. And that is something I learned from Coach Jackson. So I never worked with him before, but when I went and talked to him about his practice and things like that, time was a big deal. So I'm a stickler for time. We're going to go by this. Once they get it from me, they'll go discuss with their position players for 4 minutes. Now, that was 4 minutes. They're 8 minutes together to discuss with position players and discuss with your unit. That can blend in together. It depends on what's going on. Um, like this year when we played South Oak Cliff, there wasn't a lot of things that we needed to change defensively. So it was a lot more discussing with position players before we went to the unit. Um, but once again, I do not, you're there. Those 4 minutes, you're discussing with your position players. 4 minutes, you're discussing as a unit together. And we're not, sometimes you know how it is. Coaches will go into the coaching office and, drink and bullcorn about, whatever. They'll drink some Gatorade or whatever the case may be. I don't allow that to happen in Melissa. Once again, that's why I firmly believe that this is so important because most coaches don't even have anything written down. They just go into halftime and say, okay, guys, what are we going to do? And it might be me. I've been told that I'm a crazy when it comes to this kind of stuff. If you came into my office doesn't look very organized. But I can tell you right now, I can organize your life down to the minute. So, yeah, discuss with your position players, discuss with your unit. And then I speak for 1 minute of the team. And it usually doesn't take 1 minute. It usually takes about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. When that happens, there's 11 minutes left. 11 minutes left. Right when I get done talking to the team, the quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and centers, and all kickers, holders, whatnot, leave. They go to the field. And yeah, I'm this crazy. This is a home game, by the way. So this is the first thing I did when I presented it to the coaching staff this year. So a home game with 9 minutes left. It takes 2 minutes to walk from the locker room to where they need to be at. 9 minutes left. The kids should be stretching on their own. 6 minutes left. Quarterback, centers, running backs, receivers, all doing pat and go. And I'll show you how that works here in a second, how it all comes together. 6 minutes left. Holders going through holding circuit. 6 minutes left. Snappers going through snapping circuit. 6 minutes left. Kickers and punters going through kicking circuit. 2 minutes left. Hopefully, we have started to greet players back onto the field. The band brings it back on and whatnot. That's what goes on outside. With inside, 11 minutes left. The kids' bathroom and last minute nutrition. 8 minutes left. All position. We have an indoor. All position players are in the indoor. So in that 3 minute section, my position coaches are still with their position players, and we're making sure everything. There is never. You can never not have enough whiteboards, and I got a million whiteboards in my locker room, and every one of them is for a different position. So I have a whiteboard. It says the inside linebackers on it. So once again, I'm that anal. It says inside linebackers on it. I don't want to see an outside linebacker coach on it. I want my inside linebacker. So the kids know where to go in the locker room as well. All right. Now I do have a big locker room. I'm not going to sit there and lie. But I don't want them to go and sit in their locker and chill. We're right in the middle of a war. So it's not an opportunity to go over there and just, relax and, just act like a dummy. We're getting after it. So 8 minutes, all position players are in the indoor. They start doing the dynamic stretch. 4 minutes left. Our strength and conditioning coach speaks. 3 minutes left, we line up. And then 2 minutes left, we run through the tunnel. When we go outside, if you can see this, when the band is playing, you can see right here, we have our kickoff. We have our kick. So the guy and I'm blessed. I have a guy that just kicks off, and I have a guy that just kicks field goals, and I have a guy that just punts. Okay. So I have a kicking circuit. Now these two guys, I rotate them. My punter will never kick a kickoff or a PAT or a field goal ever. So he only works punt in that kicking net. Once again, I'm sorry, I have 3 kicking nets. But these two guys, they'll take about, probably 4 or 5 kicks, and then they'll rotate. And I got a specialist coach. that stands over there and does that. You can see here, I got short snap to hold, long snap to hold. So I got 2 short snappers and 2 long snappers, and they all do the same thing. They both short, or all 4 of them short snap and long snap. So they go through a circuit here with short snap and long snap right here. As you can see, when we come out, the first 3 minutes, our receivers, this is how they warm up. Our receivers are throwing to each other. So my junior high staff has set this up during halftime. So these balls are 7 yards apart. So there'll be a ball on this sideline. And they'll come out. The receivers are throwing to receivers, running backs are throwing to running backs, and it's just about activating your hands. Over here, I got a center snapping to my quarterback. CO stands for coach. Center snap to the quarterback. CO stands for coach. And that's 10 yards apart, and we're just warming up. We're just trying to get warm, our arm to get warm again. The last 3 minutes, as you can see here, this moves over, but this is this. So make a long story short, they come over, we just do short pat and go. Now, what you don't see here is I want this quarterback to move. I don't want him just to catch and throw. So I have a coach on both sides making that quarterback step up, making that quarterback kind of escape, half roll, whatnot, and throw short pat and go. Now I don't do it from the beginning. I let him kind of do his thing, and then my last 3 or 4 throws, I make him move around a little bit. But it's just about getting back into the game. Normally, I've been a part of things where you go out there and you do high knees, butt kicks, and then you go play. I don't believe in that. I mean, I believe that kids have got to snap. I believe kids got to kick. I mean, your kid's about to kick off. If you're about to go play defense to start the half, your kid's about to go kick off. Why would you not let him go kick? So our band is good to us. So they give us about the last a minute and a half to 2 minutes. And this is a home game. This isn't an away game. We don't go back the team as they come out. At a home, it's on the field, not making field goals, hunting this way and pat go over here. So it's the overview, and I know a ton of what we do, but that's the overview of what we do. I think so. I got kicked out. Am I there? Y'all still got me? Can y'all still see my screen?
We just see you. No, sir.
Dang it. I stink at this, man.
Yeah, your phone's working. It's just the other screen.
Well, so to make a long story short, I mean, that's what we do, but it takes a lot of coaches to do it. I got a specialty coach and my junior high staff. Now, when we go outside, my quarterback coach goes outside, my running back coach goes outside, my receiver coach goes outside. But we do the same thing inside. We do a quick dynamic stretch, and I didn't talk about this. Like I said, I just took it from my notes. We walk through with our offensive line, like any adjustments we make, and we walk through with our defensive front, any adjustments we make as well. Once again, we're super blessed with having an indoor here in Melissa. Now on away games, I kind of said it last week. When we played Greenville 2 years ago, we did it right there in the end zone, what we were going to do. I mean, if the Greenville was watching us, they would have said, this is how they're going to adjust. And this year, Greenville came and played us. So we had an indoor we could show, or we did our adjustments and whatnot and walk through them in our indoor. But that's what we do. And once again, I didn't steal this from anybody. I got this from kind of my mentor. He worked under Jeff Traylor at Gilmer, and he was the Grace community coach for a long time. So I got it from him, and he's kind of been my guy when it comes to being organized and whatnot. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's what we do here at Melissa, Texas. So if there are any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer. I can get back on here. Coach, I feel like Tom Hanks or Forrest Gump when he said, I'm sorry I screwed up your Black Panther party. That's where I feel like right now. I don't know how to do this, man.
Thank you. I was muted, y'all, and didn't know. Anything specific warm up for O-line, D-line?
Yeah. So, Coach, what we do is when we go into the indoor and we do our dynamic stretch, I don't really believe people do it for so long. I just don't believe in that. Like, come on, man, let's get it going and moving. Like, I got a strength and conditioning coach here at Melissa, and he's like, we got to do this, that, and another. And I'm like, really? Do we have to do that? Does it have to last 4 minutes? I mean, does it have to do that? I mean, can we do this like in a minute and a half? Can we pull this off? And I get that the kids got to be loose and whatnot. But can we not do that? So we do it in about a minute and a half. And then we break up, and it's literally, hey, you're jogging to your coach, and I got it blocked off and whatnot in our indoor. But our offensive line, hey, we're blocking power, or we're blocking counter. Hey, they're giving us a 4, and we were working out. Influence that guy. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to wash him down. We're doing that at that about 2.5 minutes while we're in the indoor after we've done that dynamic warm up. And once again, like I don't know. And I know people got different philosophies, but guys, I've never had a kid pull a hamstring. I never had a kid pull a quad or whatever the case may be. Now, if I did that, I would probably go out there and pull every muscle in my body. But they're kids and they're athletes, and we have supported them and helped them get their body to be ready to play. And I just don't think it takes that long. I do believe that what we do in there, I don't let them right when they get in there. They have I don't know, you probably can't see it, but the kids have 7 minutes, 8 minutes to themselves. That's 7, 8 minutes. You can do whatever you want. After that, you're up. I tell my kids, there's not an opportunity for you just to sit around and do nothing. In that locker room, you better be stretching. And if you feel like, oh man, I might be, my hammy might be sore, you better stretch. And I'm blessed here in Melissa too, where I can have kids that can play. So if my first kid goes down, my second kid can play. But I'm like, hey, you want to lose your starting spot? Pull something. You better be stretching at halftime. Like, it's not my job to prepare you to get ready. I'm going to put you in a situation where you have time to do that, but you should be doing that while you're in the locker room. So 7, 8 minutes, they get, and once again, I'm going to go back to this and people are going to lose their mind, but I don't care. Get on your cell phone. I do not care. Yeah, I'm not going to fight that battle with you. You want to get on your cell phone? Cool. But once again, it goes back to, I'm going to see it. I'm going to see I'm going to see whatever you post. Don't think I'm not. Don't think you can hide it from me. You can, I can Snapchat. No, I guarantee I'm going to see it. And once again, I've done that for 5 years, and I've never had an issue with a cell phone in that regard. But once again, like it's every year I fight with my strength and conditioning guy every year. Like, really, we got to take 4 minutes to get warm? I don't think so, man. That's just not what I think. I said, when I go in there and lift weights, I know I'm 42, but I stretch for about 50, maybe 30 to 50 seconds at the most. And I'm, once again, I get it. I'm a 42-year-old man that is extremely out of shape, and I'm not going to go play a football game. But they've been running around and doing all this stuff. They really need 4 minutes to get ready. So I just don't believe that. Minute and a half for me. That's why I get my strength and conditioning guy. You got a minute and a half. After a minute and a half, they're going back to their position coach. And we're, I call it a jog through. And it gets kind of, but once again, I don't want my kids to go back in the first contact they have. And it's not major contact, but the first contact they have it's been 28 minutes ago. So I just firmly believe in that. So, and I know I might be doing overkill with it, but I just firmly believe in hand activation and I don't know. Halftime's a big deal for me, guys. I can talk about it forever. And I've had major uh, debates about it.
Matt, I'm telling you, I've just put this in the Fast and Wide chat. I am embarrassed how I used to do halftime after listening to you, and I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. And so this is so good to me. But let's say you're in Denison or you're somewhere, and that doesn't mean a lot to people in here, but you're at a stadium with no track and there's not much room. How are you figuring out a way to get everybody warmed up while the bands are playing?
So, Coach, once again, man, I'm a freak. So, in the state of Texas, there's a website, Coach. I know you've heard about it, but we go to Texas Bob, and we I guess scout the place we're about to play, and we look at it, and I could, and sometimes you don't really get a good idea looking at it on Texas Bob. So I mean, you can Google it and whatnot, but we do use Texas Bob, and then I'll call the coach and I'll say, hey, about how much, and the coach, we set that up pregame. So when my junior high staff gets there, it's my job plus my junior high staff's job and my specialties coach job to set that up pregame, what we're going to do. And normally when we're on the road, I might be able to get my kickers on the field and my quarterbacks and receivers and whatnot, but it's not really. It's mostly a home game thing where I can get them back on the field and actually kick. So, because Melissa Band is a big deal. So my band director helps me out. When you go on the road, those band directors don't help you out. But that's what I do, Coach.
So you're just going to scout it out and do the best you can.
Mm-hmm. And when we get there, Coach, so like I'll have, and once again, I'm a freak. So like I'll have a green cone. That means this is where I want the kicking nets to go. And once again, we've been together for so long. Everyone knows that green cone is kicking nets. This orange cone is where Coach Nally wants the centers to be at. So, yeah. I mean, it's,
so when you get off
it's
the
like
bus,
that, Coach. So, but we just scout out.
But you're doing that when you get off the bus after the players walk the field or something. One of the things you're doing as a head coach is you're going to cone the area where you want halftime activities to be.
So, Coach, once again, you said it best. I mean, I got to be doing something. I can't just get off the bus and chill. Yeah. I can't do that. Like, I get off the bus and I go straight to the field. And my middle school coaches are already there. So I go straight to the field, and I got a guy that does field setup for me and whatnot. And Coach, we set that up, and then Coach, I have a routine. We're going to do that, and then the next thing we're going to do, I mean, I'm sure everybody's played it, but we're going to play golf. There's 4 of us, and we're going to play golf out there right after we set that up. And then about that time, Coach, is when the kids are making their way out, talking about pregame from last week. That's about the time the kids are walking out after we've set it up and then played golf. We'll have those kids walk out and we'll do pregame.
Got it. Okay. Anybody else, y'all, question for Coach Nally on either halftime or pregame from last week? Or anything about time management? He said he'd organize your life. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm telling you, Coach, I can do that now. I can organize your life. And once again, it goes back to this works for me. Now, when that guy originally gave it to me, the way his structure was, it did not work for me. I have ADD. I can't stay focused on one thing. That's why everything's got to be short increments with me. And I've got to make sure it's extremely planned out. That's really, Coach, what I do mostly over the weekend. Like I run this offense, so it doesn't take me that long to game plan. So I normally game plan more about pregame and halftime than I do anything else. So, but yeah, I mean, to me, it's got to be what you feel, and this to me is an easy feel, and I like it. I'd rather get down back there on the field. Like I hate just sitting. I hate just not doing anything. Like I cannot stand it when you go in there and everyone's just sitting in the locker room, and you're like, we're sitting here for 20 minutes and then we're going to get up and, make our way out there and do a half-ass butt kick and then we're going to play. Like, I don't think so. That's just me. And I've been like that as a kid and when I was a player and as a coach, like I can't do it. So when I became a head coach, I researched the heck out of this. And there's a lot of people that do a lot of different things. I think that my mentor got this from Mac Brown when he was at Texas, the way that they did it. And I know there's things have changed. Like, we played people that during halftime, they'll come out and they'll kind of do the same setup, but do some little things different and whatnot. And that's their thing. I don't know. But for me, halftime, people want to bring up halftime adjustments. I always tell them the same thing. If I'm adjusting at halftime, I'm not a good coach.
That's right.
I should have already adjusted. I mean, I shouldn't be getting in at halftime and talking about, hey guys, on third down, we need to do this.
All right. So I've got a question.
So that's just me.
I totally agree. If you're waiting till halftime to make a change, you're asleep at the switch. David wants to know, do you have a separate halftime schedule or is it printed with your pregame schedule? Like, in other words, do you have one or two papers or how do you organize it?
So I have a packet. So once again, when we get our Friday, I have a Friday night packet. So it walks through everything that you do. So like it walks through the walkthrough, it walks through, what we're talking about that week, every single thing. So once again, that's what I'm doing on Sunday. Normally, like I said, I run this offense, so we can get game planning done pretty quick. I'm not saying it's going to take, 30 minutes, but we get game planning done pretty quickly. And then we get into our packet, and everyone's got a different thing within the packet, but yeah, once again, like I have to be detailed because if not, I'll go off the rails. I got to be like, and I got a coach standing right next to me saying, "Hey, it's 5:10. You should be, or not you, but we should be doing this. It's 5:18. We should be doing this." He's my assistant head coach. So if I didn't have that guy on a Monday through Sunday, I wouldn't know what I was doing. So.
All right. Coach Holland, who you met with me the other day, wants to know, do they need to be quiet and focused during halftime during those few minutes and pregame and all, or do you really care if they're loose or playing music?
That's 7 to 8 minutes. 7 to 8 minutes, you do whatever you want. I could care less. And like I said, Coach, I'm not going to fight that battle. Normally, when you go into Melissa, it's kind of fun just to see each team's different. Like 2 years ago, it was a bunch of gangster rap. We don't let them listen to cussing music. It was a bunch of gangster rap. This year, it was like I was at I don't know, Woodstock or something. It was a bunch of Bob Marley and whatnot. So, but whatever gets you, you piss hot, go for it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna mess around with that. You can do whatever you want. So, but they get 7 to 8 minutes. But when I walk in, and I started when I walk in, every single person. I know this sounds stupid, but every single person stands up. Okay. And it's called time to go to work. Stand up, it's time to go to work. So when I walk in, everyone stands up. As their position coaches fill in, they go to where they need to, or where they know they should go, and whatnot. So on the road, I have every position coach has their own whiteboard that they take. And that's the one that you can take it with you, you know what I'm saying? But it's not a huge one that we have at Melissa. But I just firmly believe in, give them seven. It's give and take. You got to give them a little bit. And it just as a kid, I mean, I'm sure everybody in here is my age or older, but you remember as a kid, like your ass better not be talking. I mean, you better be in line doing the right thing. We just don't live in that world anymore. Yeah. So that's just my opinion.
Talk to us, Coach, about this is from Coach Bruce, nutrition or supplements you give during halftime, or if you do.
Yeah, so we give the kids before the game. We do gummy bears before the game, or I'm going to mess this up. I think it's sour. It's not gummy bears because I love gummy bears. It's sour worms because I freaking hate sour worms. We do the same thing during the game. I have a kid that has a bag of sour worms that he goes around and gives out. During halftime, we go for simple sugars. Okay. And this is where it kind of gets, I don't know what the word is. Probably I'm going overboard here, but I ask each kid, what simple sugar do you like the most? So like just say a kid says, I like Skittles. Well, we give them, that's their Skittles, their bag of Skittles. That's what they get. So we give them a simple sugar at halftime and they get to pick what simple sugar they want. Now we have great support here. We have great support here. So, you know, our booster club buys that. So like for me personally, if I walked in and they're like, what do you want? I would want some gummy bears or something like that. And right when you walk in, now there's a bunch of kids that might want gummy bears or whatever the case may be. So we just put them in a line on a table. But I got a trainer there checking off. Randy came up and got his gummy bears. Matt came up and got his Skittles. That's probably going overboard with it. But that's how we do it.
Awesome, man. Coach Powell wants to know about the 3-man weave. He probably wasn't in last week, and everybody put that in the chat. So, Mike, I hope whatever. I hope I'm just guessing, but he wants to know about 3-man weave in pregame.
Yeah, so I was talking to a guy at Oregon when Chip Kelly was there, and he said that the one thing that their strength and conditioning guy said was, you're asking these kids to do catch and run and throw and all these things, but you're really not doing anything to activate their hands. And I still don't know what that means, activate your hands. But I'm like, cool, that sounds awesome, way smarter than me. I want to activate my hands too. So they did 3-man weave. They said it's the best way to activate your hands is throwing and catching and moving while you're doing it, hand-eye coordination and all that other good stuff. So we do 3-man weave. So we do 3-man weave down. Now we don't let the big boys do it. It's only skill kids that do it. But we line up, we go 3-man weave from the 40 to the goal line. Everyone does it, and then they turn around and go back. And really, this just organically happened. The first time we were doing it, I had coaches doing it, and I had this young coach on staff, and he dunked it. He caught it and dunked it, and it has spawned into something insane. If you came to Melissa and you watched Melissa pregame, it's probably, that's probably the best thing about it is because people, like I said, kids are choreographing their dunks. And I still have those same 3 young coaches on my staff that I had 5 years ago, and they're the last people that go. And every kid's job is trying to beat them in their dunk. And these coaches just come up with these unbelievable, elaborate dunks. But there have been kids that beat them, and it's, I judge them. So, it is a little bit different. I was talking to my staff about it the other day. I was like, yeah, I did this Zoom with Coach Jackson about pregame, and they're all like, oh, cool. Well, then I have a couple old guys like, oh, y'all, you talk about that 3-man wave, and yeah, so there's a lot of coaches that don't, it just looks different. But coach, at the end of the day, you're playing a game with kids to have fun. And I got it from the University of Oregon, and you can Google it and see it. So, but I got the pregame from Texas when Herman was there, and then I got the pregame from the University of Oregon down to the T. That's what I do with Oregon in my pregame.
And guys, I posted that. Most of this stuff is members only stuff, but I posted last week's pregame and onto my YouTube channel. Email me if you want that link, and then I'll post this one on YouTube as well, because everybody ought to be able to get better at pregame and halftime, things we never talk about. So, Matt, I want to be respectful of your time. I know you got a million things going on. The 3 things I love most in life are hanging out with guys, talking football, and getting better. and you helped us do all three today. Just 25 guys hanging out, talking ball and getting better. And Matt, you're a dang stud, man. Like I'm sitting here, you're talking about this pregame packet, and I'm like, okay, I need to either break into Melissa Fieldhouse and steal a pregame packet, or I need to buy one from you or something. And but I love stuff like that. Like, you know, on the weekends we're all just watching film, and there needs to be a system. And so
You're right. And
yeah.
Coach, I'm sorry, man, but I'm that guy. I'm not a micromanager. I let the coaches coach, but I tell them, like, I'm going to own your day. You can do whatever you want to within the day, but I'm going to own the day.
Yeah.
So you're going to have this packet, and, you know, at 5:17, you're going to know what to do. And yeah, I might be taking it too far, Coach, but I appreciate you allowing me to be on here.
Oh, no, man, just get ready. I'm gonna give you a break. But we're gonna talk weekends with you or something next time.
Yeah.
You know?
Heck yeah. Yes, sir.
Thanks for getting us better, guys.
Yes, sir. Thanks,
you
Coach.
guys I appreciate you, Matt. And y'all, Matt, can I put in the chat real fast again your email? And it's Nally
M. Nally, yes, sir.
at Melissa
ISD.org.
.com or org.
.org.
So y'all just put that in the chat, and he'll answer anything you have. And if you're not emailing Matt, then you're going to email him, because you're on here getting better. And about 1% of people want to get better, and that's the people that will hang out with us every week. So Matt, you're a stud, buddy. I appreciate you very much, man.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you.
See you guys.